Hello guys, this is Kaishiro. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, we're going to talk about top 5 meta decks after the CYAC release or the Cyberstorm Access release. So this is after the main booster set release. And we will determine the top 5 best meta decks on this format after those major release. So without further much ado, let's get started. Coming at number 5, we have Exorcist. I definitely think that Exorcist is a deserving top 5 best deck on this format due to the fact alone that it cancels out the graveyard interactions of Tearlaments and Sprite Brigade on this format. Exorcist can cancel out the graveyard interaction because they can subjugate the graveyard effects and shenanigans of the opponent, and can also set up handful of interactions and disruptions in the form of Exorcister Magnifica, Exorcister Michaelis, and Exorcister Returnia, which is very helpful on the games against Labyrinth and Runic and other control decks that is very relevant on the format. And they also have good consistency card and starter in the form of Exorcister Martha that can start their plays. A few reminders in using Exorcister are Ash Blossom that can subjugate the effect of Martha. Ash Blossom on a Martha is very detrimental against the Exorcister. And also Harpy's Feather Duster, because Harpy's Feather Duster can cancel out the back row strategy of Exorcister, because they can set a lot of back row in the form of Exorcister Bodies and Exorcister Returnia. So Harpy's Feather Duster can answer those strategy. They can also use Dimension Shifter, which is very relevant against the Sprite Brigade and Tearlaments, and can also set up floodgates as Golden Match and Dimensional Fissure, and can also play controlling cards such as Solemn Strike on the main deck or side deck. So Exorcister is very flexible. They have a lot of main deck spaces to corporate cards to answer the meta. So I definitely think that they are deserving on this top 5 list. So coming at number 4, we have Sprite Brigade. So Sprite Brigade is a fall from grace on the previous list, because they are much more higher on the previous list on my videos and also other meta tier lists. But they have fallen from grace because other decks just got better on the format after the CYAC or the Cyberstorm Access. Without doubt, Sprite Brigade is still a good deck to play, a great deck to play on this format. They can set up a lot of negates, such as Apollousa from IP Masquerena and Sprite Elf, and also they can finish games fast with Access Code Docker that is very easy to summon on the Tri-Brigade setup. A few reminders that can subjugate the strategy of Sprite Brigade is the hand traps, just infinite impermanence, and also going second card such as Dark Ruler No More can be a devastating card against the Sprite Brigade. And also Droll and Lockbird, because when you use Sprite Starter or other adding factors on the Sprite engine or Tri-Brigade engine, Droll can answer the Nerval add later on, and can also prevent the add of Revolt. So Sprite Brigade could end on a premature board if they are hit with Droll. So yeah, Sprite Brigade is my number 4 deck on this list, because they are a deck that is very complex but can give you results if piloted correctly, and also a strong one to play on this format. But they are not anymore the best deck for me. Coming at number 3, we have Labyrinth. So Labyrinth is a versatile trap deck that can incorporate a lot of trap cards and floodgates on their deck, and they are a toolbox deck. They have a lot of complex monsters that can snowball for card advantages, such as their Field Spell and Lovely Lady Labyrinth. And also there are other monsters of Labyrinth can incorporate card advantages on your main deck. And also they also have good going second cards in the form of Ras Spear Mode and Lava Golem on their side deck that can devastate a lot of boards like Sprite Brigade and Tearlaments and other combo decks. And They also have a good space for running floodgates. They are exclusively a deck that can play around those floodgates as Golden Match, Rivalry, Skill Drain. There can be only one sometimes, and other back row and floodgates. They are also a toolbox deck to operate a lot of plethora of trap cards such as Torrential Tribute and Dogmatica Punishment and weightlifting. I forgot the name, but weightlifting, weight scaling, I guess, and other trap cards such as Dimensional Barrier that can stun a lot of decks on this format. So Labyrinth deck is a great deck to pick up if you are looking for a deck that is safe to play on this format and could dodge the ban list moving forward. The few reminders that you have to take into account is other cards such as Dino Wrestler Pancrataps that can out floodgates on this strategy, and also Red Reboot is very devastating against the Labyrinth because they are mostly built around playing trap cards, so Red Reboot is a great answer to them. And also, Evilly Match is very demolishing against Labyrinth because the strategy is to set cards and go for card advantages on the process while beating the opponent with the Lady Labyrinth and Lovely Lady. So Evenly Match can can destroy their setup on the process. So yeah, Labyrinth is my third best deck on this format. Coming out number 2, we have Bestial Punk. So this is a relatively combo deck that can synchro summon a lot of monsters, boss monsters, and incorporated with the Bestial strategy that makes the deck more consistent and countering against the best deck on this format, the Tier Laments with the spoiler. So Bestial can answer the Tier Laments entirely because they can banish the fusion summoning effects of Merly, Havnis, and Shayren using the Bestial Magnamut, Saronir, Druid's Worm, and Baldrake. So Bestial is a good answer to the best deck on this format, and Punk can synchro summon a lot and can be a combo tool to them to special summon a lot of synchro monsters such as Chaos Angel, that is most recent one. This is a very powerful synchro monster, and they can also summon Cheng Ying and Barone and other synchro monsters. This is a deck that you should play if you are looking for a combo deck to play on this format. But the downside is, like the other combo decks, they are very much prone to Maxi. Maxi stops the deck from snowballing out of control, and also Nibiru is really strong against this Punk Bestial because they tend to special summon a lot, so Nibiru is a great answer to them. So yeah, this is my number 2 best deck on this format, Punk Bestial. Coming at number 1, we have the Tier Laments Ishizu. They are still the deck to beat on this format. Surprisingly, at first I thought that Tier Laments will be falling out of ranks on the tier list, but Tier Laments proved me wrong again on the for the third or fourth time already. They got massive hits on the previous ban list, but they are still standing strong as the best deck on this format. Tier Laments Ishizu is very strong. I also mentioned earlier that Sprite Brigade has a poor matchup against the best decks because the Punk Bestial can establish a board with a lot of negates and interruptions, which is very hard to play around using Sprite Brigade Sprite. And also, Ishizu is very strong against Sprite Brigade because the materials on the graveyard is very substantial to the success of Sprite Brigade because they have to banish those monsters to perform a link summon using the kit Fractal, Nerval, and Keras. So, Ishizu cards such as Keldo and Mudora can shuffle back those materials on the graveyard to prevent them from doing so. So, Ishizu is very strong against the Sprite Brigade. And also, Tearlaments is still Tearlaments. They can fusion summon a lot of times, and they are much more reliant now on summoning Winda with the Swamp, King of the Swamp, and Shadow monsters on their deck that can turbo out Winda on the turn 0 on their first turn. So they have a legitimate win condition in the form of Winda. They can stop a lot of combo decks such as Sprite Brigade and Bestial Punk using the Winda. Although they struggle against the Bestial, but the undeniable fact that Tearlaments is still consistent up until to this date is fact that it is a very strong mechanic on their own. So Tearlaments still struggles around Bestial and other cards such as Ghost Bell and Diddy Crow that stops their graveyard interactions and fusion summoning mechanic. But I do think that Tearlaments is still the best deck on this format, but Bestial Punk is trailing behind them with a very small margin. So yeah, this is my top 5 best decks. Coming at number 5, we have Exorcist. Coming at number 4, we have Sprite Brigade. At number 3, we have Labyrinth. At number 2, we have Punk Bestial. At number 1, we have Tear Izizu. So yeah, if I'm going to mention top 6 deck on this list, it's going to be Runic because Runic is very frustrating to deal against, and they have a win condition that is very unconventional, that is decking out the opponent. So Runic can really destroy a lot of meta decks here if they are unprepared, such as if they're not running Cosmic Cyclone or other back row removals. They can get easily stalled and deck outed with Runic. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learn a thing or two on this video, and hit the notification bell for more updates, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this kind of content, and expect for more informative videos on the following weeks. And thank you for watching. Peace.
Fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.